What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, all right, we're coming back to Love Bites. Yes, indeed. Love Bites fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of May for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, SMB. Hope you enjoy the show. SMB wanted to see me react to this is Love Bites with a tune called Unchained. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. At least I hope I haven't. Unless they're doing a cover of the Van Halen song Unchained. But I really can't see Love Bites doing that. I don't see them doing that. Could they do it? Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally believe they could do it, but I don't see them doing it. I have a feeling this is an original, and since that's the case, I'm positive I have not heard the song before. Unless I've heard it in passing and I just don't realize it. Or maybe this is a cover. I don't know. We're going to just kind of play this by ear and see what happens. Let's see. This was posted by Love Bites. No surprise there. And the video has 164,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Love Bites, Unchained. The word official there. Wah, wah, wah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that word coming off of their official page. Look, you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is we're going to have to just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. Official live video from No More Tragedy. Now, from what I've been reading in the comments, this is an actual live DVD that they've released from their most recent live tour. So that's going to be nice to see. I'm already seeing some major differences compared to what I saw. Anyway, we'll get into that later. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh my God, this is so Iron Maiden-ish. Somebody get Steve Harris on the phone right now and let him know he needs to check this out in case he needs to, sick his attorneys, sick his lawyers over this. This song, I swear, the chordal progression. Tell me that doesn't sound like the Trooper. Tell me that doesn't. It absolutely does. Listen to this. You tell me this doesn't sound like the Trooper. Not yet. Okay, right here. Tell me this doesn't sound like the Trooper. Go ahead and try and tell me it doesn't. Try and tell me that doesn't sound sort of like the Trooper. The same idea, the same direction. Okay, I know it's not the same notes, but it's the same attitude, the same direction, the same everything. I swear this sounds like an Iron Maiden song. Somebody call Steve Harris. Get him on the phone. No, look, in all seriousness, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would never want these ladies to get sued, obviously. And even if Steve Harris were to listen to this, I don't think he would have a problem with it. Unless he's writing a song that has this exact same notation and he goes, wait a minute. Which I very seriously doubt. But, I mean, look, anything can happen in this world. I like what I'm hearing. The notation's nice. I like that little shift in key when we went into the chorus. I like that. That little modulation was nice. The energy and the drive of the song, very nice. I think I'm digging that more than I'm digging anything else. This just feels good. This just sounds good. It just warms the soul, man. It really does. I am digging this tune. The guitar work is clean. I like what I'm hearing from both ladies on the guitar. Tommy's bass playing, fitting in. I love how she has adjusted her playing to fit with the Love Bites direction. She really has done a fine job of that. Bruno's drumming, really nice. Some nice fill work. Some nice transitional work. Even more than the fill work, transitioning from phrase to phrase. Really nice. Sami's vocals, as always, sound really good. I got no issue with anything she's doing there. I got no complaints about this at all. I just found it funny that I hit the start button and count off, and then we go into that riff with the guitars, and I'm like, this is Iron Maiden. Oh my god. Anyway, let's keep going here. Oh yeah, the halftime.
Jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 jump. Everybody jump down. Jump, 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 jump.
Super clean. Nope, I'm going to save it all for the review. I am not going to show my hand at all right now. As much as I can. I have no poker face. I'm sure you saw during the reaction. I'm just... I can't hide it. I can't. But I'm not going to talk about it. Not yet. Let me save it for the review. Let me get my thoughts together. Make sure I didn't forget anything. And I'll see you in the review. And oh yeah, then we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Love Bites with a live performance of Unchained. This was a request from SMB. And this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of May for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, SMB. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is going to be an interesting review because there's going to be more to it than just the review of this video. I know people have been asking and begging and pleading in the comments for Mrs. Heretic and I to give our concert review of Love Bites. Well, here's the thing, folks. Number one, we did go and we did meet a number of people there, and a number of you came up and said hi to us, and we loved that. We absolutely loved meeting each and every one of the people that did come up and say hi. I have a list of their names, actually. Now that I think about it, I have a list of names on my phone here. Let me pull it up real quick because I knew I was going to forget everybody's name. So okay, here we go. So the individuals that Mrs. Heretic and I met at the Love Bites show, listen for your name, make sure we don't miss you. So we met Don and CK. We met them while we were standing in line, if I'm not mistaken. In the arena, we met Jeff, we met Ken, we met Jerry, Mo and Omar. Got both of you there. Greg, Kyle, and John. That was everyone's name of everybody that we met. So I want to make sure I give you guys a shout out and let you know that I do appreciate meeting you guys and listening to you guys talk about the channel, what you think of the channel, things you think I might be able to do better. I'm always willing to listen to people, tell me what they think I can do better. I won't sit there and tolerate people bitching and complaining though. Listen, if you have something you think I can do better, okay, fine. Tell me how. Don't just sit there and complain about it. Tell me how I can fix it. Tell me how you would like to see me fix it. And I'll take it in consideration, absolutely. But if people just sit there and complain about what I do, no, I'm not going to listen to that. Please, I got much better things to do. But I'm going to include the concert review in this reaction because there's a reason for it. There's an absolute reason for it. I promise you, it all ties in, okay? So how should I do this? Should I do the concert review first? Yeah, I think I better just knock this out of the park. Get it out of the way. Okay, there are 2 very distinct reasons why we have held off doing our Love Bites concert review for as long as we have. And I'm just going to finally take the step and do it. Number one, Mrs. Heretic is extremely busy. I am lucky if I see her for a grand total of... and this is not an exaggeration, folks. If I get to spend 10 hours a week with her, I consider myself very lucky. She is constantly traveling. She is constantly working. Emergencies pop up. Sometimes her phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning and she has got to get on a plane. And I'm usually the one that drives her to the airport. So I'm lucky if I get 10 hours a week with her. So getting a chance to actually film is almost impossible. Lately, hopefully things will maybe one day will slow down. The other reason we've been holding off is because, quite honestly, we were told, both of us were told by our parents when we were kids, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And what I mean by that, it has absolutely nothing to do with Love Bites. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ladies. The ladies, I'm making assumptions here. I'm sure the ladies put on a great show. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did a fantastic job. From what I could hear, and that's taking things by a bit of a stretch, it sounded like they were playing the songs well, from what I could tell. That venue awful venue. What's the place? The place was called the Echo or the Echoplex. It is an absolute god-awful venue. It is not meant for live bands, at least live bands with any kind of following. You know, if you're Johnny Nobody and the Never Will Be's and you expect 50 people at your show and you're lucky if you get 50, okay, that's a fine venue for you. Absolutely. It's perfectly fine. Here's the problem with the Echoplex. It's the design is just horrible. And I talked at length about this to pretty much everybody we spoke to, and they all agree this was a horrible venue. Here's the stage, right? And then you have room for maybe 5 or 6 rows of people that can see the entire stage. After that, there's the sound booth. And the sound booth is floor to ceiling, about 20 feet wide, maybe wider. And it takes up, honest to God, this is not even an exaggeration, from front to back, it takes up about a quarter of the length of the hall. So if you're not in the first 5 or 6 rows of people, you are going to be delegated to these aisleways on either side of the sound booth. And you're not going to see squat. You're really not, especially, and no, I'll bring this up. I'm going to bring it up. Okay, I am not saying this about all Love Bites fans. Okay, most of the people, I would say about 98% of the people that were in the crowd, very nice, very complimentary, very understanding, very accommodating, very polite. However, there were those, 10 or 12 knuckleheads who, for some reason, all stand between the heights of 6'4" to 6'10", and they decided, because they're 6'4" to 6'10", they decided to, come in late, so they're supposed to be standing in the back. It says the tallest people in the venue, you would think it would make sense for them to be in the back. They're not going to have any problem seeing anything. Did they do that? No. They decided to go from the back, where they all came in last, and literally push and shove their way up to the very front of the stage. If you are one of those 10 or 12 individuals who stand over 6'4", to 6'10", somewhere in that range, and you were one of those people taking it upon yourselves to push and shove your way up to the front of the crowd, you're a douche. You're an absolute tool. No, I take that back. You're not a tool. You're a tool box. Your entire box of tools, okay? You are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You are literally towering over everybody else there. I'm 6 feet tall. I couldn't see around you. I mean, dear Lord, I'm sitting here trying to watch the show, and I can't, because you are literally forming a human curtain in front of us that none of us could see past. So thanks a lot, douchebags. We really appreciate you pushing and shoving your way up to the front of the stage so you could worship the goddesses before you. Congratulations, you got what you wanted and made all the rest of us suffer. So thanks a lot, guys. As a result, Mrs. Heretic and I, we couldn't see the show. We could hear it, sort of. The venue is not a good venue for live music. If I'm being honest, the acoustics in there are awful. It's a long hallway, and like I said, the sound booth takes up, like, I would say about 2/3 of the width of this hall, up to about, I would say probably about 40 feet back, 50 feet back. I mean, it takes up a lot of space. I would never play there, ever. If I ever find out that I'm playing in a band, if I get hired and we're playing there, I'm gonna back out. I'm sorry, but that venue is awful. And we did not have a good time, like I said. And I want to be very, very clear about this. I do not blame the ladies one single bit for this. Odds are the venue was booked without the ladies having any say in the process whatsoever. Management probably booked it for them and said, we got the best rate here. Well, there's a reason you can get the best rate there. I'm not mad about the loss of $35 a head. I'm not upset about that so much. You know, it was 30. If not, if I was paying, you know, $150 a head, I might be a little upset about that. But at $35 a head, I wasn't too upset about that. But just between the venue itself and, like I said, those absolute toolboxes who decided to ruin everybody's night. You know, I just did not have a good time, and honestly, Mrs. Heretic did neither. So it's nothing against the ladies. I promise you. I look forward to seeing them play again. And this is where it all ties in a venue like this that we saw in this video, where it's organized, it's spread out, a much larger stage, a much larger hall, a much larger theater from the looks of it. I really wish they had played the YouTube theater. I really do. I would have had a much better time, and I would have paid more. I would have paid like 80, 90, $100 even to go see them play at the YouTube theater. Absolutely. But this venue is awful. So for those of you wondering what Mrs. Heretic and I would give that concert, we're both saying no score. We're not giving it a score. It's not fair. It's not fair to the ladies to base our score based on the horrible experience that we had. It had nothing to do with them. So it's not fair, so we're not going to do it. No disrespect to Lovebites whatsoever, but the Echoplex, God, I hope it burns to the ground. Never to be utilized or rebuilt ever again. As far as this performance goes, I'm glad I got a chance to see this. If this was a reflection of what was done at the venue that we attended, I wish I could have seen it. I really do. I'm going to say something here that might be a bit of a hot take, but I have thought about it, and I feel very confident saying this. Out of all of the live performances I've seen from Lovebites on the channel, I can honestly say beyond a shadow of a doubt, I think this is the best live performance I've seen from them. They have grown and matured as live performers. Man alive. I very seriously doubt they watch this channel at all. They probably don't even know I exist. But everything that I've talked about in the past with them that I've seen, I wish I could see more of this. I wish they would do this more often. I wish they would try to do this. I literally saw everything in this live performance. Everything I've ever wanted to see, everything I've ever hoped to see, everything I've ever asked to see from them in a live, everything I've ever asked them to improve on in a live performance, they brought it here. Their live performance was fantastic. Let's go down the list. Let's see if they nailed everything. I can promise you they nailed everything. Okay, so stage presence, please. They've always had great stage presence. They look like performers, they act like performers, and I have absolutely no problem giving that the check mark. Stage energy, check. A lot of it. A lot more than I would say I typically see from Lovebites. I believe the addition of Fami to the band has really kind of given them the kick in the butt that they needed, because from what I have seen of Fami in the past, she's a performer. She loves to move around, and I think having her in the band has been seriously the kick in the butt that Lovebites has needed, because I think she has kind of forced everybody else in the band to step up their game and do even more. And I mean, they've done well in the past. They did okay. Here's the difference. They've done very good in the past. Now they're doing great. You know what I mean? Or they've done great in the past. Now they're doing outstanding when it comes to the visual aspect of the live show. And I'm gonna kind of say that I have a feeling Fami's behind this. She's, ever since she came along, man, their live show, from what I could see in this video, has increased dramatically, noticeably. So stage energy, big check on that one. Stage interaction, big check. Not just one single little isolated thing. We saw several crowd interactions, stage interactions happening between multiple people, and different people taking the initiative. Miyako coming over to Midori on Midori's side to interact with her. Both of them coming up to the front with Asami, you know, and then doing their dueling guitar solo. Where? Up at the front on that catwalk. I love it. How many times have I said, if you're the guitar solo, where should you be? Front and center. Boy, it doesn't get any more front and center than at the very front of a catwalk that is literally going down the middle of the crowd. You don't get any more front and center than that. So great job on both of them for taking the initiative and doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, what's next? That's stage interaction. Crowd interaction, please, check. We had tons. We had lots of moments. Asami doing most of the work, granted. I saw Fami interact with the crowd. I saw Midori interact with the crowd. I didn't see Miyako interact with the crowd, unfortunately, but that's okay. Look, it was covered. It was covered. And it was covered by more than just the lead vocalist, which is always bonus points in my book. Showmanship. Oh, yes. Big check. Don't think I didn't notice the blocking when they went into the halftime feel of the song. Guitars up, guitars down. Guitars up, guitars down. Big old shout out and tip of the cap to Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and pretty much any other band from the 80s that came from Britain that are all notorious for, you know, their blocking. It looked good. It was very appropriately. It was very well done. It didn't look cheesy at all. It looked appropriate and it's pleasing to the eye. It's movement, it's motion, it's energy, it's attention to detail, it's effort. That's what it really comes down to more than anything else. It's effort. They showed by doing all of this, they care about the visual aspect of their show. And it shows. It absolutely shows. The effort was there. It is absolutely appreciated. And I'm sure there's not a single person in the crowd that could watch that. Okay, here's what it boils down to. Watching this one song, if I were to base my opinion of the entire show on this one song, I would say more than likely everybody left the show happy, both audioly and visually. I'm sure everybody left thoroughly entertained and everybody felt like they got their money's worth. I don't know how much they were charging for that show. Maybe it was 35, maybe it was 50, maybe it was 100. I would have paid $100 to go see that. Absolutely, I would have. It looked great. It didn't. No. It didn't look great. It looked amazing. It looked fantastic. It looked outstanding. Honestly, like I said this at the beginning, I'm going to say it again. This, to me, as far as live performances I've seen on the channel, this, in my opinion, was the best live visual show that I have seen on the channel from Love Bites. So, and I stand by that. I absolutely stand by that. Add to that the song. Nice song, great song, fun song. I very Iron Maiden-ish in construction and concept. The second the song started, I was like, somebody call Steve Harris right now. And I listen, I still say this sounds like an Iron Maiden song. I'm not saying Steve Harris needs to, sick his lawyers on these poor ladies. I'm not saying that. I'm sure if he were to listen to this song, he'd probably love it. He might even say, you know what, I need to steal this and make it my own. We're all thieves in the industry. But I couldn't help but notice just how much the song sounded like Iron Maiden. Anywhere from the dueling guitar lines over the pulsing drums and bass to the unison to the halftime section, and in particular, what really sold me on the Iron Maiden feel was that modulation in the chorus when we shifted up the key. I was like, yup, that's absolutely Iron Maiden. Now it was a fun listen, man, fun song. Love the drumming on this. Haruna really sounded good on this track. Some great transitional fills from her. Fami, I really love how she's adjusted her playing style to fit into Love Bites. I know that and I'm not saying this to be rude, okay? I'm not, but if you look back at her solo work and the stuff, it was just all popping and slapping and popping and slapping. And I remember when I heard that she was getting the gig with Love Bites, I remember going, ooh, I don't know. Well, time will have to tell. I know she's a professional. Odds are she will make adjustments, but if she tries to go into Love Bites with that popping and slapping, the way that she's doing it during her solo career, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna work unless Love Bites tries to adjust their sound to fit what she's doing. Have they done that? A tiny bit, maybe. But really, more than anything, it's been Fami adjusting her playing style to fit within the Love Bites scheme and the Love Bites brand. And I gotta say, I gotta tip the cap to her for doing that. No ego, just fitting in and, you know, making what she does conducive to the band, to the band's direction, their songwriting direction, and just being conducive to everything that fits within the Love Bites brand. I think it's a great job on her part. When it comes to Midori and Miyako, I've said it all before. I don't want to sit here and say it all over again, but I mean, I gotta say, when they were doing their dueling guitar solo up at the front, it was clean. Super clean, super tight, in a live setting to boot. It's not like you get, 5, 6, 13, 86 takes, 84 takes. You don't get that. You get one shot and one shot only, and they absolutely pulled it off clean. On top of that, during the chorus, don't think I didn't notice Miyako doing the tapping. I really wish we could have heard that a little more in the mix. I could hear it, but I had to really go searching for it. I wish they had brought her up just ever so slightly in the mix so we could have heard that tapping that she was doing, because it looked interesting. It looked like she was, doing something really intricate, and I could hear some of it, but I had to search. I didn't hear all of it, unfortunately. I really wish they brought up a bit in the mix, but it is what it is. Asami's vocals, she always brings it with her vocal performance, man. She always does, and she delivered once again here. So, taking the musicianship into account, taking the songwriting into account, more importantly, taking the live show into account, everybody's like wondering with bated breath right now, what's he gonna give this? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that overall performance, I'm gonna give that a 9.2. Yep. 9.2. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the score I feel this overall presentation deserves. I've already told you all of the reasons why. Why? Just to reiterate, in case people don't know what a 9.2 means, a 9.2, it would equate out to an outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating. So yeah, I believe this overall presentation absolutely deserves an outstanding, amazing, impressive score. Also, it would get 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. Yes, an A. So there you go, a 9.2, outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating, 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. I already told you all the reasons I came up with that score. The songwriting, just the song on its own is a great song. I would give the song on its own, seriously, I would give the song on its own like an 8.3 or an 8.4. It's a great song. One of their better tunes, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's the most impressive song I've heard from them, but it's definitely a great tune without question. You add into that the fact that they gave us probably, in my opinion, probably the best visual live performance that I have seen on the channel. I got no choice. I have to put this up in the 9s. It was so well done, so impressively done. All the things I've asked for, all the things I hoped they would improve upon, all the things I hope they would add into the show, they did. They did, absolutely in spades. So that is why I'm giving this the 9.2, between the song and the live show. In closing, I really do hope I get to see these ladies perform live again, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm taking the live show that I went to and I'm kind of chucking it in the trash. I'm not counting it because I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see the live show. I couldn't see anything that was happening, and I'm 6 feet tall. My poor wife, poor Mrs. Heretic, she's like 5'6", 5'7". There's no way she's gonna see, over a curtain of dudes who all stand over 6'4", So unfortunately, did I go and see them perform live? I went to the venue. Yeah, terrible venue. Avoid that venue like the plague. I believe it's called the Echoplex, or is it just the Echo? It's one of the two. Avoid that venue like the plague if you're going to go see one of your favorite bands, unless you know for a fact that the attendance is going to be low, like seriously 100 people or less. Anything over 100 people on that, you're going to be stuck in the hallways probably. So avoid that venue like the plague. And yeah, so there you go. 9.2 for this live performance, absolutely all day long. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 9.2, which is an outstanding, amazing, impressive scale rating, 5 out of 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later, peace.